Grain Desk. This is Duane Lowry on Sunday, January 13th, shortly before 4 in the afternoon, and live in front of the Chicago Board of Trade building. This is Duane Lowry. I'm currently on the south side of the Chicago Board of Trade building. You might wonder why I'm in Chicago. First of all, this is off the market track a little bit, but our oldest son performs improv each week in Chicago, and this week he had a tournament, so we came up here for improv to watch the tournament. And then it happened to be that he also performed in a comedy musical on Saturday night. So due to travel commitments or whatever, if I'm going to do the video, I had to do it here, and I thought it might be kind of fun to come back to the Board of Trade and do it in front of the Board of Trade. I also think it's interesting, and while I was watching my son perform improv, I thought, man, how amazing similarities there are between day-to-day market movement and the effort of the industry to try to explain and justify every day's movement with some sort of fundamental storyline, and how similar that is with the process of improv, where we can take some one soundbite subject and attempt to back into a believable storyline and create a storyline that is interesting, maybe factual, and a lot of fun. But at the end, there's a lot of laughter. And I have to admit that with 30-plus years of experience in this business, there's a lot of times I look at what the market does and the explanations that we try to back into and try to fit into it, and I have to laugh. I have to pause for a second as the L train goes overhead. Anyway, that's why I'm in Chicago today. As far as markets are concerned, tonight, Sunday night, it's not going to be a quiet night. A lot of focus all of a sudden on the grain markets now after Friday's USDA reports. The reports are still important, but I think the big theme that we should derive from Friday's reports is we have a very tight U.S. corn stock situation. We talked about it long before the report came out, that was a factual situation that was going to determine just how factual it was with this report. We also have a tight global feedstock situation. We have a tight hay stock situation. And for the fact that grain traders are talking about and perusing through hay stocks reports with any amount of seriousness, just in and of itself tells you just how significant it is. So what Friday's reports will do for us, and what the price action Friday does, and what the price action in the next several weeks is going to do, is going to remind traders to focus on tight stocks. And it's going to be a situation where we're going to have two markets. We're going to have a tight old crop market with lots of upside potential, and we're going to have a new crop market that is looking forward to large acreage increases under normal growing conditions, a much more abundant supply, and probably a much cheaper price level down the road. But for right now, what's more important, new crop possibilities or old crop realities? Because the markets have sold off so much in the last several weeks, because spreads have weakened so much in the last several weeks, because there's so much rationing to do in a relatively narrow window, and this time, this rationing is not some academic exercise. This is a real rationing process in U.S. corn, old crop corn. It's going to have to take place. We're going to have to shrink usage, but more importantly, in the cash markets, we're going to have to transfer from one region to another region, from one buyer to matching with a seller that has never matched up before, because there's never been a reason to cross those logistical boundaries and go from this region to that region. A lot of grain is going to have to move in strange directions to make this tight U.S. corn carryout work. That's going to create opportunities for old crop corn to go up, and as producers, we need to be hoping the old crop rallies can drag new crop prices, even if it's kicking and screaming, some sort of higher level, better pricing opportunities for new crop. So there's a lot to talk about from the report. There's a lot of implications for the weeks ahead, but right now, keep the focus on old crop tight stocks, upside potential for old crop, and let's hope it's able to drag new crop prices to higher levels over the next few months. We got to talk about plains dryness issues. We got to talk about dryness issues in the western Midwest. Friday's reports create new trader interest and a new level of focus and a new perspective on basically what is old ideas and old facts that had largely been forgotten as the trade became demoralized and largely bearish in the last several weeks, and like I argued for many times, for really no reason. There's plenty of reasons for the markets to have upside potential here, and I think that's what we focus on. As for tonight, expect corn to be well supported at unchanged values. Very difficult to see much weakness below unchanged. We're probably going to start higher. As far as wheat is concerned, maybe we trade on both sides. A lot of support under the market. We're headed to higher levels. Beans, there certainly can be some trade on both sides, and there certainly is a legitimate bearish argument, but a rising tide floats all boats, and right now I think the focus is corn and wheat. Which one leads the other one, I'm not sure. My suspicion is wheat will be the near-term quickest leader because it's got a lot of shorts in the trade and we got short covering energy. But if you look several weeks down the road, it may very well be corn that has the longer lasting duration and ultimately ends up gaining even more on wheat than where it is now. But first, I think wheat's probably a leader. So for the DPP Grain Desk, this has been Duane Lowry. Thank you.